Hi friends and subscribers, welcome to Starry Hilder's empty coop. Well, it's not completely empty. I am out here. This is another project of mine. It is time to move the meat birds, and they kind of outgrew this area. I know it looks like a disaster, but Starry will clean it up and it'll look good as new, good as new. And in fact, actually this area needed a little bit of scratching and composting. So they did a really good job. But now they're getting really big, and is moving the coop down below where we had the meat birds last year. So I am going to have you guys come join us, and apparently Sprig is going to be helping. He's been doing, you know what, he's been doing pretty darn good. Every now and then he'll be naughty and try to nip at the birds, but and he wants to play, as you see, but he's just a sweetie. So come join me. We'll show you what I'm doing. It's not fun, but it's got to be done. So here's assisting here. I've been carrying them down in this tote right down here, which probably isn't the best idea, but this is the only way that I can do it. But you can see they're already down there, most of them. I'm getting it done. Oh, hey, what are you doing? They are in their new home, and Sprig is welcoming them, aren't you? Although he grabbed one by the neck. Didn't do anything, no harm, but I like this coop because there's a little bit more room when we pen them up. It's got a nice, look at that, overhead, so they are protected. And if you come in here, and we made this out of pallets last year, so I put their little lean-to in here so they can sleep in there at night, and they've got a lot of room in this pallet area, and it's all fenced in so no predators can get in. Now this is the awesome thing about where we are at right now. We have not had any problems with predators except 2 birds. That's it, 2 hawks. And for the most part, we don't have raccoons. We don't have any coyotes coming over here, and I think a lot of it has to do is because we got the dogs. And the dogs are really active on our property, and we just don't have any predators. So I feel very comfortable with having them down here. Birds grow, and even not just meat birds, but as your ducks and turkeys and whatever other fowl that you have on your homestead grow, they are going to need more room. Each bird requires so many square feet, and I believe meat birds and chickens require 2 to 4 square feet each. So if you're not going to free range them, they need some room. So that's why this is not a big coop area, but as you can see, we are going to free range them down here. And the thing about meat birds versus hens, you'll see this. Hens egg layers will go all over the place. They will have a very large range, but they will always come back to the coop at night, so don't worry about that. The meat birds do the same thing. They come back to the coop at night just like the egg layers, but they actually don't go too far. They like to be by their source of food. So when you are raising meat birds, no, these things aren't going to be wandering off. I mean, here's a brave one. He's brave because he's away from the flock, and that's kind of the farthest some of them will go. So we will leave the door open during the day and let them free range. And here's another little ditty about meat birds. Our meat birds actually like to roost, and I have read where you shouldn't allow your meat birds to roost because it does something to their breasts. Maybe it might build up their neck muscles a little bit more than you want. They're birds. They're going to roost. I like raising my birds as naturally as I can, and I like letting them be birds, even though we're going to process them. So they have a great life, and if they want to roost, and they do, I provide roosts for them. And my meat birds, quickly, just our philosophy here on the homestead with raising meat birds and feeding. I don't want my birds to be dying of heart attacks. I don't want my little birds to be dying of broken legs because they they got so fat so fast. And yes, I know they are bred to get very fast, very fat, very fast. Say that a couple times. I know that, but I also want healthy, happy birds. And I don't want them laying in their feed like I've seen some meat birds, and they just lay and eat, and they go from the food bowl to the water bowl and the food. I don't want that for my birds. I want happy, healthy birds. So I do free range them. I make sure they have plenty of greens. I also make sure that they have good chicken, or not, good kitchen scraps. And we only feed a couple times during the day. We do not just leave a feeder out 24/7. We don't. And people may be criticizing me for that and saying that's not how you raise meat birds. Well, I'll tell you what, we get 8-pound meat birds that are very healthy, and their meat is really good, and they're healthy up until the day that we process them. They really are. So that is just the most humane way that I can think of when it comes to raising these birds, because they're God's creatures. And even though they are serving a purpose to put food on our table, we still have to treat them like God's creatures. Just my philosophy. Look at, they're so cute. Look at that. After I'm putting up all my roosters, solar lights. I'm sorry, but my birds do not like to be kept in the dark. So I'm going to bring a couple solar lights down here for them to make them happy. So, Coop moving day, it was successful. Even Mario behaved pretty well. So from now on, when you see our updates, this is where it will be from, our bigger coop. All right, God bless, and thanks for watching Raising Chickens 101.